When I first met the NASA scientist, Dr. Darragh Martin, he had taken time off to write up his notes and was living in a cabin on the California coast near Point Reyes. He moved slowly and deliberately with the ease and grace of a man comfortable in his body, someone who seemed to wear his surroundings like perfectly fitting clothes, someone very much at home in the world. One hot summer afternoon, after I'd finished rewriting his story, I visited him to show what I'd done. It was a small place, clean and uncluttered, sparsely furnished with flea market bargains, an old patched-up sofa, a dark wood table, and a couple of oddly matching chairs, dishes neatly stacked on the counter next to the sink, and by the window a telescope stared out of the ocean. Everything in its proper place. The room immediately relaxed me. It smelt of fresh lemons, mixed with the scent of lavender from a bush growing just outside the front door. Darragh greeted me warmly and handed me a cool fruit juice. We talked a little about Darwin and Maya. I handed him the thick manuscript and went out for a long walk on the cliffs, returning a few hours later. He seemed pleased, but I sensed he wasn't saying something, and so I asked if he wanted anything changed. He just smiled. "You've done a fine job, but the story's unfinished," he said. I asked what he meant, puzzled, because I thought I had incorporated all the narrative from his own notebooks. He went over to the old wooden table by the window, overlooking the ocean, and pulled out a bundle of papers from a small drawer. "Here, take these. I didn't want to give them to you at first because I wasn't sure if they should make it into print. I wasn't sure if any words could capture the bewildering simplicity of it all. But now I see we have to try." I took the manuscript, written in pencil on scraps of reused paper, and began to read. "What's missing?" he said as I scanned the first page. "What's missing is what matters most." I put the papers down and looked up at him. He continued. "Yes, we now know what intelligence seeks expression means. Yes, we now know that contact with alien intelligence needs to take place first within our own world, in fact, within our own bodies. Yes, we need to know that consciousness goes all the way down to the level of the quantum, and all the way back to the Big Bang. Yes, we now know that evolution has a purpose. Yes, 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 we know all this, but..." He stopped, and I saw his eyes perform a remarkable thing. Simultaneously they looked deep into me and back into the depths of his own soul, as if he was remembering something, and sensed I already knew it too. "But our story doesn't tell us about consciousness all the way up," he said. "It's one thing to say we know that intelligence seeks expression throughout the universe, but what does it want to express, huh?" And then, as if the point of his entire life converged on this one moment, he asked, "What's the message?" He waited, looking at me, peering into me. I said nothing, half expecting him to continue, thinking his question was rhetorical, and because I didn't know what to say. But his eyes wouldn't let me go. "Well, I'm waiting," they said. "I don't really know," I blurted out, still searching for a response. "I thought the message was that the universe is deeply intelligent, that spirit matters. Isn't that it?" "Just as I thought," he said, releasing me from his eyes. He sat down beside me on the old couch, and I felt an unusual warmth radiating from his body, matched by a comforting compassion in his voice. "There's more we have to tell them. If you've spent months studying and retelling my story and still don't know what the essential message is, how can we expect others to get it? And that's the whole point. It's not enough for them to read my story. It's not enough that Darwin and millions of dolphins and whales have activated the noetic code. It's not enough that shamans of different indigenous cultures are working within the Great Dream. It's not enough because we all need to enter the dream, to experience liberation." Again, he fell silent for a few moments. And the bliss of freedom comes only with a simple, astounding truth. That's what we all need to see, to hear, to feel. The message still echoing from the Big Bang. The message that lies at the heart of all the world's great religions and that fires the imaginations of artists and scientists and philosophers of all ages. He paused again, stood up and walked to the window, flung it open and let the salt air and the roar of the ocean flood the room. Listen. What do you hear? What do you feel? This time it was rhetorical. Before I could respond, he went on. We are not who we think we are. There is something we all need to know, but it's so absurdly simple, few of us have noticed it. He beamed a broad smile and let out a resounding laugh. That's the cosmic joke. It's so simple. And now his face turned serious. But the difficult thing is to put it into words in a way that really makes a difference.